Been here for a while. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Is that a special occasion for you? I don't know. This episode is titled the Valentine's Day edition. Has literally nothing to do with Valentine's Day whatsoever. I'm wearing red. Even my pants are red, actually. Full red garb. So we got into the spirit. I have no questions related to Valentine's Day. Actually, here. Put this fake rose in front of me. That makes it romantic and Valentine's Day themed, right? Well, it's been a while since I talked to you guys. Last Friday, my schedule was crazy. I didn't have time to film the video, and I wasn't actually planning to this week. I tell you what's bothering me. When I look at our Instagram feed, it is all Fit Brew Friday for the most part. And I need to start coming up with other content that isn't just Fit Brew Friday all the time. And I just haven't got around to doing that yet. So, when you guys watch this video, comment, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram Live, comment and yell at me to produce more content for online, because it can't just be Fit Brew Friday all the time. This isn't Fit Brew Friday wellness. This is case-specific wellness. The coffee's good today. Thank you, me, who made it. Anyway, let's get into these questions for today, because I have some kind of cool questions. Another one related to calves, which we seem to get a lot of calf questions, which is kind of fun. Just call this Calf Fridays, maybe. Just all calf training questions. That sounds fun. We have another one about stick with the New Year's resolutions. We're halfway through February now. How are you guys sticking to them? Those of you who set New Year's resolutions, you still doing them? If not, or if you're struggling, I have some tips to help you. And then a final question about carb consumption, because everybody loves carbohydrates. I really like carbohydrates to a disturbing level that is probably detrimental to my physique. But that's besides the point. Getting into this though, I'm going to start with that calf question. We're going to knock that one out first, because the reason I find this question fun is because the person who sent it in wrote it in a very technical way, which I appreciate, but not all of you will. So I'll kind of explain my way through this. But going into that, if the soleus, which is one muscle of your calves, is made of type 1 fibers, slow twitch fibers, is it realistic to expect hypertrophy, muscle growth, with seated bent knee calf raises? The gastroc, the bigger of the calf muscles, is actively insufficient in this position. None of you know what that means. That's okay. Yes, fiber types can change with immense training, but are your 3 to 5 sets 2 times a week going to make a difference? Or are you better off doing standing calf raises if the ultimate goal is hypertrophy? So that is a mouthful, which, like I said, it was fun for me to read that question and acknowledge that someone who knows a good bit about anatomy and physiology is kind of still asking questions like that. Makes me feel like a legitimate source of information, and I love that. That makes me happy. Acknowledging the actual question here, which is it worthwhile to do seated calf raises at all, or are you better just doing standing calf raises in general? There's a couple ways that you can look at that. In my mind, and the way I'm reading this, you kind of answered your own question whenever you said, is your 3 to 5 sets 2 times a week going to make a huge difference? The overarching answer, probably not. Right. You know, if you're doing calves once or twice a week for a few minutes here or there, are you going to make a big difference if you're doing seated calf raises in particular? Probably not. And to those of you who don't necessarily understand this, your calf is made of more than one just muscle. It's not just your calf muscle. You have your gastrocnemius and your soleus. I think there might even be another one in there, but those are the two main muscles of the calf. The gastroc is the big kind of like heart-shaped muscle you see whenever someone flexes their calf on the back side. That's their gastrocnemius. The soleus, if you look at them from the side when they flex their calf, is this little skinny strip of muscle that goes in between or behind your shin, rather, I guess, behind your tibia, and between that and the gastroc on the back side. With that in mind, the soleus is a very small muscle that, as this person said, is mostly type 1 muscle fibers in most cases. You figure all your walking and jumping and anything that you do throughout the day where you're on your feet, you are always extending at your ankle and pushing your toe down. I guess this way doesn't make sense. Pushing the toe down into the floor. And each time you do that, you're working your calf. And so, yes, your calf muscles, particularly your soleus, because it is the smaller of the two, tend to be more type 1 muscle. Just meaning that it's not as easily fatigued, but it also can't exert as much force when training or in sport. Now, with that in mind, there is variability in fiber composition among different individuals, and so some people are going to have a little bit more type 2 muscle fiber in their soleus as opposed to others, but it's probably pretty safe to assume that for the most part, yes, that soleus is a largely type 1 muscle. And with that in mind, is it worthwhile for you to train it with seated calf raises 1 or 2 times a week? No. Now, with your calves, as we said, they are a lot of type 1 muscle, and you can change that fiber composition, like he mentioned in his question here, a little bit. But to do that, you're going to have to increase the volume and the overall training load throughout the week. And so, no, those 1 or 2 sets, 3 to 5 sets even, 2 times a week, may not make a huge difference. But maybe try training it 4, 5, 6 times a week, and you're going to see some difference. Like I said, those aren't easily fatigued muscles, and so they can adapt better. I don't even want to say adapt better. They are less, how do I say this? Now I'm getting stuck on my words here. They respond better than type 2 muscles to high volume training where we might hit them multiple times a week, as opposed to, say, like your legs or your chest or your back muscles where you train those 1 or 2 times a week and they're sore for a few days after. The calves can recover quicker. I guess that's what it comes down to. Your calves can recover quicker so they can handle more volume. So, do I think you should completely eliminate seated calf raises? No. I mean, everything has their place, and it's good to train that soleus just for the balance of your calves, so that you're not just overtraining one muscle as opposed to training a little bit of everything. I think you should definitely keep your seated calf raises in there. And if your goal is to get your calves as big as possible, let's hit that volume multiple times a week, or train those muscles multiple times a week, and really stimulate the hell out of it, and see if we can make a change there. Like I said, that soleus is a small muscle. It's probably not going to grow a lot, but it will grow a little bit, and every bit of hypertrophy works, especially if you are in physique competition, or if that's your main goal. I think I answered that well, for the most part, except for stumbling over words a little. Moving on to question number 2, because I'm seeing, this time goes so freaking fast whenever I'm doing these. Question 2, as New Year's resolutions start to fade, how do you stay motivated to be in the gym? Best advice to stay on the grind. My number one approach to that is align your lifestyle with your goals or your resolutions, right? So let's say your goal is to, actually before I even go there, your daily activities, your daily habits fall in line with what your goals and ambitions or resolutions, whatever is, that is going to make it, it's going to take less effort for you to stay on track for those goals, because everything is funneling to the same place, right? So I'm going to use myself as an example here. I don't necessarily set New Year's resolutions, but if I'm, at the beginning of this year, I was kind of writing down my goals for the year and what I'm trying to accomplish this year. And one of those is just to try to get myself to 200 pounds of on-stage weight. So super lean. I want to be 200 pounds on stage. That's a high, lofty goal for me, but that's a goal. Now, the training aspect of that, getting in the gym, however many times a week that I train, is very important, but the nutrition side of that for building that kind of muscle mass is far more important, or slightly more important, we'll say. And so if I'm not preparing throughout the week and having my meals set out and ready to go so that with my work schedule, I can get the calories in that I need to every day to build that muscle, then I'm going to lose my motivation because I'm not seeing progress and I'm just kind of getting stagnant. With that in mind, I've not been doing that. So what I need to, here I am, like seeing what I need to do. On Sundays, I need to set apart time to get food, make food, and have food in my refrigerator prepared to go throughout the week so that I don't have to think about it whenever I wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning or whenever I get home at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. It's ready to go. I don't have to think. I have my food and I'm going and building that muscle that I'm trying to get. Haven't been doing that, and so I'm not making that progress that I want to see, and I'm getting a little bit stagnant with it. So now let's take an example of another person whose goal might be weight loss. What are you doing throughout the day of the week that what does your daily activities look like? Are you going out to lunch with your coworkers every single day? Are you going out for drinks Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night? Alcohol we know is not an asset for you whenever you are trying to lose weight. And what are you doing with your downtime when you're not at the gym or at work? Are you counting on that time that you spend at the gym as your only calorie expenditure throughout the day to lose weight? Or are you staying active throughout the rest of the day? Are you walking? Are you keeping on your feet as much as you can throughout the workday even? So again, aligning those daily activities and habits with what you're trying to accomplish. Let's say your goal is to stop smoking and drinking. Are you always hanging out with other people that smoke and drink? Or again, are you going out on the weekends and having more drinks than you should? Maybe you're just trying to taper back a little bit, but you're still going out on the weekends and waking up the next day saying, I didn't want to drink that much. So I guess keeping your activities in line with what you're trying to accomplish, as well as surrounding yourself with positive influences and people who either have what you are trying to obtain or have the right mindset to help you achieve those goals. That is your best bet for staying motivated and just aligning yourself with what you're trying to accomplish throughout that year. I have 1 minute and 10 seconds approximately to finish this off. Last question. I never get through 3, so this is good. Should I eat carbs after my workout? That was one that someone actually asked me in person. I answered the question for them, but I told them I would address it on this video as well for anyone else who's wondering. Carbs. Oh man, 1 minute. So we're going to think of carbs. Let's think of this. Whenever you're trying to rebuild muscle, recover after a workout, we always think of protein as the necessary ingredient to rebuilding that muscle. So let's think about it like this. If your body is a house and a tornado comes through and tears your house apart, and now we need to rebuild it, we're going to think of protein as the bricks and the mortar and the wood and everything that's needed to actually build that house. And we're going to think of carbohydrates as the workers and the contractors that we hire to come in and actually rebuild it for us. So, should you have carbs after your workout? Yes, that is how we're going to get the protein to actually do what we want it to do and help us rebuild that muscle. That is 15 minutes. I have to cut some off this video, but thank you guys for watching this Vapor Friday. Send in questions for the next one and keep encouraging me to post more content because I suck at it. Have a good week, guys. Enjoy the weekend and happy Valentine's Day.